This is a Glass Box Media podcast.
Do you say it?
Johnny Depp is producing a Michael Jackson musical starring the singer's glove.
Yeah, it's a puppet. It's a puppet musical. It's a puppet musical that no one asked for.
No.
We truly don't need.
No, Johnny Depp, just go.
This is what the problem of having too much fucking money.
Just go
Amen.
be rich somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, you have an island. Just go live on it, away from everybody else.
You and all your scarves can go. And
Amen.
You can play puppets over there.
You
we
and
don't
your
need to
oily
see it.
mustache can go live on that island on your own.
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay,
Enough.
guys. I need to talk to you about something very important.
Oh my God! If you have the same thing that I have, and I guarantee you
might.
do.
I think we might. Have you guys seen Jason Derulo's picture? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, I know who he is.
First impressions, Christina. This is on his Instagram.
Oh.
I have to go.
I got two opinions here.
I had to go right now. I had to go right now. Damn.
He hot.
That's exactly it. Cassie just zoomed in on the part of the picture.
Yes.
So, okay, let me describe this. Let me describe this picture to the listeners.
Let's talk about the double action.
It is Jason Derulo, who Jason Derulo. So, okay, just for reference, so we know who we're talking about. He is hot. Okay,
Yep.
He's shirtless in this picture. I think there may be a waterfall involved.
Yeah.
He's
damp.
damp in the best way. Yeah. And he is wearing very tight, very short shorts, and his
dick makes it look like a skirt.
yeah. You can't even see like the middle section. It just slides right across.
That is a goddamn baby arm.
But okay, so he posted this. It became quickly his most liked photo on Instagram.
Shocking.
Wow. Weird.
And that was basically his response. He's like, strange, weird. Didn't expect us to go this way. Like, I'm so surprised.
We didn't expect it to go that way either.
I know.
Because it's almost out of your goddamn pant leg.
It
almost fell out of your skirt,
It's
sir.
an elephant trunk.
Jesus Christ.
But then people were saying that they think that it's photoshopped. So take a look again and tell me if you think it's real or photoshopped.
Well, I mean, obviously he's not in the picture twice, so.
Oh, well, yes. That
You
part.
can do a lot of things with shading with Photoshop and stuff. But no, I think it's real.
It's believable to me.
It is believable. It looks well, yeah.
You're going to go with real?
I'm going to go with real.
Okay, and
I'm
then
buying
Cassie,
it.
just one more
buying it.
look. We're going to zoom way in.
Zoom way in.
Whoa, sorry. Okay.
What do you think?
It's
Real or
hard to tell
Photoshop?
because
It is hard to tell.
with Facetune you can
fuck
stretch
with the
things
shading.
out.
But it distorts shit around it, and I don't know that it's the stuff around it is distorted to make me feel.
I think it's real.
Big fucking dick, yo.
Yeah.
That should be our fuck, marry, kill. Think of all the people who have like we've heard stories.
Like him, Orlando Bloom,
Yep.
and we know Orlando Bloom's got a baby arm now for
and
sure.
Pete Davidson.
And
Yeah,
Pete
Magic
Davidson.
Dick. I mean, okay, I'm going to say that I think it might be. I think it might be because
I think it's real.
I think it could be. We'll put it up. We'll do a poll on our Instagram.
We'll put this picture up.
Yes, we'll do a poll. Just zoomed all the way
Zoom in. It has to be a story, real or not real, and like have people vote on it.
Yeah, it'll be a poll.
Yeah, remember to do this.
I will remember to do this.
Good.
Okay,
Because
so
I'll actually be gone. I'll have a real job next week.
congratulations.
Look at me
Working for 9 to 5.
I got a job. I'm so excited.
There you go. Perfect. Well, my news, big news.
Yeah.
Saga. Get your tea hair on.
It's on. It's on.
Okay.
Did you hear about Justin Timberlake this week?
Yes. Okay.
Holding hands.
That was what was
That's what you wanted to talk about?
Yep.
There it is.
Okay, here's the thing, though.
Okay.
I haven't seen the video. Have you guys seen the video?
Yes, I have.
You have
He
seen the video.
was trashed. Capital T. It was like obvious. Like you know how people are. You can tell even when they're sitting down that they're drunk. He was drunk.
Okay.
No excuse.
Sure.
Obviously.
Well,
and it's
But
just
I
like
definitely am more handsy when I'm drunk.
And
I'm more flirty when I'm drunk. And even I would never go beyond just being like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Well, but see, I haven't seen the video. So to me, knowing that he was drunk and seeing the picture, it didn't necessarily look romantic to me.
Okay.
It kind of looked like, you know, he was holding her hand, but it could have been a situation where I know, like, when we've hung out, I've wrapped my arm around.
And we've all seen that rom-com where somebody accidentally gets in trouble because they snap the picture right at the moment and it looks like they're kissing, but they're actually not. And, you know what I mean?
And it's not even a kiss. It's like it's a handhold. And
Yeah.
like, to me, that could be anything really,
Right.
but I haven't seen the video.
If this was a picture of Anthony and I, would you be upset?
No.
Okay. There
now
you
if
go.
it was a picture of Anthony and some random coworker, you know what I mean? Because that's the thing. Is
That's
it's like
true. There you
if
go.
it's Anthony and like one of us, it's like Keegan knows us
Yeah.
and knows we're not like shady or whatever. And not to
That's
call
true.
this chick shady, but she's just like a random hot coworker.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's not like Jessica Biel's bestie.
I gotta be honest, Chris has a really good looking coworker, and if I haven't seen the picture, so without I'm not basing this off a whole lot, but if I had caught a picture of him like holding her hand and he was like super drunk, I would probably not think too much about it.
I
don't know.
I think I need more information, and I haven't seen the video because from what I've heard, the video is more sketchy than the photograph.
Yeah,
is. So
yeah, it is. It is. He's obviously drunk. He has apologized for it. He says it's not cheating, but he still feels guilty and he feels bad. And they're calling it like this huge scandal, you know, and they're like, Jessica Biel spotted wearing her wedding ring after hand-holding scandal.
Oh
and
my
all
fucking
this.
God.
Holding scandal.
Can it be a scandal if it's hand holding? I don't think that that's a scandal. I think that that's, something that those two maybe need to talk about.
Yeah, and be
but I
like,
don't see why
hey,
this is a national
Don't
emergency.
be getting all like drunk and handsy.
Because she's hot
motherfucker.
too. I've never seen this girl before, but she's beautiful.
She is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what.
So is
that made
Jessica
me
Biel.
think. I'm like Jessica Biel, and I'm like,
It's not about beauty though.
It's
I
not.
think
It's not.
That's we got to get
It's
away
a
from the
a
idea of
reminder.
somebody being better looking is the reason that people cheat. And
Well,
I don't
but
think it
neither
is.
one is better looking than the other anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
they're both insanely beautiful women.
Yeah.
I think big picture here though, the question is do you trust him? And if she does, then this isn't even there's no question here.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say is like, Anthony's work parties get rambunctious.
We've heard.
Listen, I could tell some stories, but I won't shade him like that on this podcast. But his work parties get insane, and like he's got good looking younger coworkers, female coworkers, and if I saw an Instagram story of them like drunk or whatever and him like touching her arm or something like that, I still don't think I would freak out because I know him well enough that I would be like, nothing really like happened there. I know nothing happened there.
First and foremost, I think Anthony values his life. I think he very much values you, maybe more than his own life.
Yeah.
So the fact that he values both of those things makes me feel like that would just be innocent behavior, no matter how that girl took it.
Right.
Because that he would never, between our guy friends beating the shit out of him and him losing you, he would never.
Yeah. I mean, this whole thing, I didn't view it when I looked at the video. I was like, that's not cheating. That's just somebody being like really drunk and inappropriate.
Sure.
Definitely inappropriate. If I was like his wife, I'd be like, dude, come on.
This
like,
is some behavior we should talk about.
It would
for
be
sure.
irritating. I wouldn't think he was cheating. I would just think he got out of control, like drunk, and it's like that's behavior that needs to be talked about.
And to be fair, I travel for work, and there's been many times where like when you hang out in a co-ed situation with coworkers and you get fucking shit faced, nobody crosses well, I'm not saying nobody, but I've never worked with anybody who's personally crossed the line with me. But you definitely get in situations where you're like, I'm so drunk, and you're hugging on people, and you're like
Cassie,
dancing, and you're
You and I are similar in that, like, we're tactile people.
Yes.
Like, and so whenever we are out drinking, if we're out doing karaoke, my arm is around you. I'm like, I want to hug you. Like that stuff. To me, it's some people that's kind of like part of their personality. It's part of their like love language. It's the way they show affection, not necessarily romantic affection, but just friendship. And so if that's something that makes your partner uncomfortable, then those are conversations that you and your partner need to have about like, listen, I understand that this is how you are, but it makes me uncomfortable.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what,
and I've never done anything that I haven't come back home and told Chris about immediately, or just like, oh my God, this wild thing, and this thing happened,
But can you imagine what makes me want to bring it up is just like how fucking big it blew up, because like imagine it's ridiculous. Can you imagine
your relationship to be under the microscope to that degree is like, and it speaks to our like obsessive culture,
right?
I don't love that
hand-holding scandal.
And that's literally like they're going bananas.
Like, would you really expect somebody to take their wedding ring off for that? Like, are you kidding me?
Can you believe she's still going to be married to this man with a hand-holding scandal?
The hand-holding scandal, 2019,
1890.
I know,
like
it's so bizarre.
It is.
Oh my God, I want to see the Jason Derulo pic again.
Please hold.
Oh shit! I mean,
I cut his face off because it was like it doesn't.
Oh my God! No, his face is great.
No, he has a great face. He came out and said like. He's like, I'm just Haitian, baby. I'm not photoshopping anything. Okay. That's how we do it down here. I was like, okay, all right.
Spicy.
Okay. You speak French?
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Please. I said please.
S'il vous plaît.
Okay. Did you guys hear about this? And I saved it because I was like, we have to talk about this because Cassie is always joking. We just had our Thanksgiving where all of our friends came together. And of course, it's the most. I always feel a little weird for people who are new to our group on Thanksgiving. Yeah. Because we're all like losing our shit, gushing over each other when we go around the table to say what we're thankful for. And the other people aren't prepared. They're not prepared for that level of like love in the room. Yeah. And so Cassie's always joking about how we should have our own commune.
Oh, we should.
We should just start. This is where the cult starts.
We should.
And everybody's doing it though. Like Kanye's starting one. Fucking Dude Face from 30 Seconds to Mars is starting one.
But you see, I don't have enough money to need.
Is that Jared Leto?
Yeah.
Jared Leto has a cult.
He has an island. You have to wear white, and he's like calling himself a prophet.
And he looks like Jesus.
Yeah.
White Jesus.
You didn't know about his cult?
Wait, what?
I brought this up before.
I don't remember this.
I think I maybe even brought this up on this podcast before.
I may have blocked this from my memory.
No, you can literally
you
can buy a ticket to this island and they play nothing but 30 Seconds to Mars music.
Get the fuck out of here. That's lies.
You're like, already I'm out.
See, I'm out already. About this next time we talk about it again. But like, what? Once again, I'm gonna be like in shock because I can't. My can't compute.
Is there something that just happens to like white guys when they grow their hair long and get a beard and then they're like, I'm Jesus
great.
now.
There goes Ben.
I'm gonna make body butter and talk about fallopian tubes.
That's actually the tenets to the cult. They're like, just shake it real hard and let those eggs fall out. Okay, so that is coming up on our shorty episode.
Yeah.
I just realized that our listeners won't know what we're talking about.
No, that gets released like Monday. So yeah.
Okay, so listen to our shorty episode first, and then
then you'll know what we're talking about.
Okay, so there were these 7 girlfriends in China.
Oh yeah,
did you see this?
I love
Dude,
this.
their house is
this.
dope.
Bananas.
Too. Did you see the pictures of the house?
Yes,
I love
it's
this.
Crazy.
They completely renovated it. Okay, so there are these 7 girlfriends who in 2008 they got together and they were joking about how when they turn 60, they're all going to buy a house together and retire together.
Yes, ma'am.
And they just kept talking about that. And then eventually they found this home that needed to completely be renovated. So they got it for like a really good deal. And it's a 7,535 square foot home. And it's fucking gorgeous. It has a huge living area on the bottom. And then a bedroom for each of them upstairs.
I love this.
And they live together now. They all moved in together. And
I love this.
It's wonderful. And they were talking about
they made their own retirement village.
Yeah,
they did. And one of the friends said, "We'll probably cook together, barbecue in the fields, sing and collect food in the village. We joke that each of us should practice one skill so that we won't be lonely and fight with each other 10 years later. Some can cook beautiful food, some know traditional Chinese medicine, some play instruments, and some grow vegetables."
I love
everything
about this.
That is the fucking best.
I feel like this. Okay, I got to be honest with you guys. I think that now that we're moving into this day and age where people are like more questionable about having children, they're like, should we bring children in the world? Like, I think people are really second guessing. I think people aren't actively wanting to have children, which is awesome. And that's great if you choose not to.
No.
I think that as we do this, there is this need that community is starting. And funny enough that you brought up Thanksgiving, because what I was thankful for was my friends. I find that your community of people isn't just quote unquote people that you're related to, family.
Right.
Your family is always, I think now it's friends. Friends are our family, and we're supporting each other, and we're creating space for each other, and we're supporting each other all the way into, like, these are friendships that are going to last a lifetime. My mom just went with her best friend. I think I already talked about this, but she went just with her best friend for a month to Europe.
Yeah.
Just the two of them. But I think that this is the thing, is like, you're starting to see people. It's like, I don't want to end up in a nursing home. I don't want to end up being a burden on my family. I have friends, and we can all, support each other.
Right.
In a community that isn't sterile.
I want to do one of those like doomsday prepper things where we get like our own shipping containers and stuff. Have you seen those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, listen, I fully recognize that this is how cults start, but
Well, I mean, yeah, nobody's in charge. But
we
Ben
could buy a plot of land for the cheap, the cheap in Missouri. I'm just saying, we could buy a lot of land. We can make straw bale houses very easily. Insulation's very good. You can all do that all on your own. I'm just saying, we could all have those little tiny homes.
Oh, dude.
On a big plot of land.
I'm here for it. I would rather be in someplace a little warmer. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying let's do it in Oklahoma, where it's also cheap, but I think we'd get blown away.
Oklahoma's not warmer either.
No. Well,
it's not.
No?
Because where I'm from is literally an hour from Oklahoma.
Oh, right. Well, I'm thinking like OKC, which is on the other side. But
sure.
But I see what you're saying. I mean,
we go to New Mexico. My family has property in New Mexico.
Done. Sold.
Okay.
I'm sold.
All right.
Sold on it.
Excellent. All right. Glad we figured that out.
I know. Apocalypse plan complete.
In action.
I know how to can vegetables. So
there you go.
I can crochet and sew.
There you go.
So I'm bringing my skills. Those are the skills I will be bringing.
I can play ukulele by the fire. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be
the one thing that Christina's like, you have to leave now.
And we're in our yurt later, like drinking tea. Like, can you believe she brought her fucking ukulele? Oh my God.
Just playing Wonderwall all day.
Yes.
Why does she only know how to play Wonderwall?
Because everybody only knows how to play Wonderwall.
Oh
my
Lord.
Gosh. So
this may be one of my favorite openings.
Oh my God. So okay, I've been thinking about obviously Jason Derulo since seeing that picture.
Of course, it will live in your brain for the rest of your life, probably.
Yeah. So we're
that big Derulo dick.
You should print it out actually and keep it in your bedside table.
Yeah, it's in my wallet, like where your kids' pictures are supposed to be. I'm just like Jason Derulo.
It's just a close up. Actually, you've got a wallet size print of just the dick.
Just that.
Oh my gosh. Well, no, we've talked. You can go too big. You really can.
Yeah.
You really can.
Yeah.
But you know what I will say about this photo is it doesn't look girthy.
No, it doesn't look too
no,
big.
It looks,
you know, like
so it doesn't,
it doesn't look like it's gonna
Goldie
hurt
dick.
you.
No. It looks like it's gonna be a fun time.
Goldie Cox.
Woo. So yeah, we big dick in FMK.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Pete Davidson, Jason Derulo, Orlando Bloom. Fuck, marry, kill.
Okay. I think I got mine. I'm going to marry Jason Derulo because I like him a lot. I like him. I like him across the board. That fucking dick. I'm here for it. That body. He washed clothes off that stomach.
Oh my God, I know.
Good Lord. And he seems genuinely like a nice guy. But he also, in that picture, kind of looks like he might be naughty and nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's Haitian, which makes me think that he speaks French.
The food too.
Yeah.
The fucking food. Haitian food is delicious.
I'm here for all of it.
Yeah.
I am going to fuck Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can play Lord of the Rings.
I'll even put the ears on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That,
Okay.
Yep. That, and then I'm going to kill,
Kill Pete Davidson.
yeah.
Yeah, he can't catch a break. We've done him in
Nope.
Fuck, Marry, Kill before.
And he can't catch a break with me. It's just, I can't.
You know,
Cannot.
I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. I think. Yeah, I think out of the three of them, I gotta marry Jason Derulo too. Honestly, because you got Orlando Bloom is just kind of like a dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
He's a dick
with a dick. And Pete Davidson, it seems like there's a little bit of sad boy energy there.
Too much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm like, so I'm definitely gonna have to fuck Pete Davidson. 'Cause you know, I like to fuck a sad boy.
You do.
I do. I want to change their lives. I want to make them smile.
God,
I want to give them something to. So Pete Davidson, I'm going to fuck.
Okay.
And
okay.
I guarantee you, he's a good.
Oh, yeah.
time.
I'm not going to lie.
He's a good time.
You're changing my mind.
Yeah. Okay.
You're right, because Orlando Bloom's going to be a lazy ass lover.
Oh yeah.
Well,
God
and you
damn.
know he is because okay, so I'm having a difficult time right now.
Okay. All right.
I'm having a bit of a crisis
Let's unpack it.
Okay. All right.
Here we go.
because as somebody who saw Pirates of the Caribbean in theaters like 4 times
man.
when I was 14.
How many dreams?
So
did you have? These dreams.
So
go
many
on when I
dreams.
close my eyes.
Between that and also Legolas Stan. I
Yeah.
thought he was hot.
He is hot
in Lord of the
He's
Rings.
ridiculously hot.
So those crushes that you have in like your formative sexual years
They're
are
real.
like hard to let go of.
Yeah.
You got to get that out of your system. You got to fuck him.
Yeah,
But-
at least fuck him.
But I feel like it'll be disappointing. Okay, I feel like it's gonna be disappointing.
Don't
Never
fuck your
meet-
heroes.
Because
That's what they
absolutely.
say.
That's what they say.
And although there is something very eye roll inducing
quote
about
the
Pete
Bible.
Davidson,
Mm-hmm.
he has got to have something going on. Like he's got to not only have a big dick, but Pete Davidson knows how to use it. Clearly,
absolutely.
Like because you don't fuck Kate Beckinsale if you don't know how to
Kate
use it.
Beckinsale does not.
No, she doesn't
play.
tolerate that.
She
shit
wouldn't.
at all.
So he's got to know.
So I have a feeling like he's going to be good at it. So I'm in this weird space.
It's Kate Beckinsale, not Kate Beckinfail.
That's
It's
right.
right.
That is
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Amen.
Trust.
Amen.
I trust.
So it makes it hard because like because what do? I'm going to marry Jason Derulo. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He's going to be in Cats.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
I
a man who
mean,
does not
I'm
take
still-
himself too seriously.
As long as he doesn't take me to that.
Yeah. I'm like.
As long as you don't make me watch it.
I kind of think it's hilarious. So I love that. I'm going to marry him. And I feel like it's going to be a better evening if I fuck.
I feel like you will always have that like what
Yeah.
if though because
You're
like
right.
you have to, I feel like you have
This
to.
is the second fuck, marry, kill where I've almost picked Pete Davidson and gotten talked out of it.
I know.
This is the second time.
I mean, you can't. Those childhood crushes. It'd be
Yeah.
like
You're right.
That'd be me not fucking Tom Cruise. I'm good fucking.
or
I'm good.
me not fucking like Tom York. I'm like, it's probably not going to be great.
No.
No.
but
I'll
I
be
kinda
disappointed.
But
have
at
to.
least you'll know.
I know.
At least
Exactly.
you'll know.
Have to know.
When you are on your deathbed, you won't want your last words to be, I should have fucked Orlando Bloom.
when I had the chance.
And they absolutely would have been otherwise. So,
oh my God.
When we're all living in the house together and we're all standing around her and
I should have fucked Orlando Bloom.
but you know what? Also,
If I title the episode that,
also less annoying voice. Orlando Bloom has an accent that is very nice, and Pete Davidson's
there
voice
you
is a little annoying.
right?
So, I've been convinced
Okay.
and convinced myself
I
that
feel
I will
good.
fuck Orlando Bloom,
No
and I
regrets.
will go ahead and kill Pete Davidson. I'll just bite the bullet on that.
Did I change your mind as well? Are you going to do Orlando Bloom or Pete Davidson? Who's it going to be?
I gotta be honest. I think I'm gonna stick with my original plan.
You're gonna
just
Orlando
Pete
Bloom?
Davidson has got that dirty dick energy to me.
He does.
It just feels dirty. Even though it's probably safe.
I will put a condom on and I will text you guys. I'll be like,
please let us know.
we're on the monkey bars right now.
I mean, honestly, somebody that I know needs to, so that I can understand.
I'll tell you guys
please.
all about it.
Yeah, I want to know what.
We'll have a special episode when it happens.
What that mystical dick is, because he's got something happening there, and I need to know
what we will find.
Exactly, like undoes his pants, and it's like already got like Snapchat filters on it.
It's glowing. It's been face tuned
as a rainbow
in real life.
It's like cat ears.
Is that a real rainbow? It just comes rainbows.
Oh my god! You're like, oh, to be the pot of gold. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Yes.
Right. Awesome.
And we're back.
Yeah, I'm gonna start us off. Mine comes from Reddit. Like I said in the shorty, I found this thread of wait staff sharing their worst date horror stories, which make me laugh as somebody who dates and who used to work in food service. It's always just super
Did you
fun.
see that thing that I tagged you in our Facebook group where I was like, have you met my friend Christina? Because that guy, he was on a first date and the girl spent like a full 5 minutes trying to convince him that he didn't need to tip, and so he got the waitress and he was like, she'll be needing a box because she's leaving now, and made her leave.
That's awesome.
That's big dick energy.
It is.
You made her leave the date. You're like, I'm gonna stay here and finish my food, but you can go.
Well, I told you about the date that I left because they tried to all lives matter.
Oh no!
Bye. It was the first one that I just actually like.
Your patience has worn thin.
This
you're
is
like
where you're at right now.
Yeah, I
like,
actually.
You know what? It's the holidays.
I'm not.
I don't
this
have time.
isn't.
I can't. Do I want to argue this or change? No, I don't. I'd rather just go home. Okay, so bartender here. So I used to work at a place that was well known for our wings. I had what was obviously a Tinder date come in belly up. I greeted everyone and got the ball rolling. After a few drinks, I could tell they were very obviously into each other. I was happy that they were happy. But as we all know, shit happens. Mm-hmm. And it was about to happen literally.
No, I knew it. I knew it.
I make a pass back their way and ask if they want to do another round. They both eagerly agree, and while I'm making their drinks, I hear the guy say, "So what do I have to do for a kiss?" Aw, cute. The girl thinks for a second and then says, "Eat a spoonful of their spiciest sauce."
Oh, no.
She's like, I have a challenge for you.
And he wasn't expecting that at all.
No. And by the way, do you really want to kiss that mouth after?
Absolutely fucking not.
It's the stupidest.
It's the dumbest thing.
Who is playing like truth or dare like that? That's fucked up.
Imagine someone having a spicy mouth and then going down on you.
Oh no.
Oh my God, it burned your clit off. I just clenched and oh no.
I just crossed my legs.
When I come back with their drinks, he asks me for a side of our hottest sauce. I tried so hard to talk him out of it. When that didn't work, I did the only other thing I could do and grab my cook to witness this idiotic move.
Yep. Motherfucker, you gotta come out and see this shit.
You bring back a house out and you're like, fucking watch this.
In fact, you like casually get out your phone. You're like, I'm going to record this actually.
Yeah. You're like, TikTok's going to fucking love this. Cook brings out the sauce and gives it to the guy. Oh. We warn him one more time that this is an awful idea. Guy shrugs us off.
Of course he does.
Oh, it's fine. I got it.
It's fine. I got it. It's not that hot. Tips back the little ramekin.
Oh, no.
Things were fine. At first, tears were streaming down his face. I got him some milk. I think we're over the worst of it after 5 minutes pass. I was wrong.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I got to say, I think he kind of deserves whatever's coming.
I do, too.
Dude.
Nobody needs to kiss that bad.
Dude kicks off his shoes, stands up, and runs to the back of the bar. As he is running, poop starts escaping his pant leg and leaves a trail all the way to the back.
Oh my God.
No.
I couldn't believe it. He refused to come out until his date left. He never got the kiss. I just cannot believe This guy had the forethought to take off his shoes before he publicly shit his pants. To be fair, they were really nice kicks.
Also,
oh my,
that is a spicy poop.
just shit streaming down your leg.
He's like, I'm gonna shit myself, and kicks his shoes off, and is like, boop, 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 boop. Oh my god. Oh, crying.
Oh,
I'm crying. And yeah, you know that poop stings too. It burns.
it stunk,
burns.
and it stunk.
I had a spicy lamb curry the other night, and I was just like, I know. I feel you, dude. I feel you.
Oh, look, yeah, that's I get it. You gotta impress your date or whatever.
I'm not
but
coming out
sir,
there. Make her leave. I ain't coming out. Make her leave. He's there till closing.
I want to hear from the girl on that
Me
date.
too.
I want that girl to
The girl's story is like, so when I date with this guy, he wanted to have a kiss.
Not want to kiss him.
Didn't think he would do it. Didn't think he would
ran to
take
the bathroom,
sauce.
shit streaming down his leg.
Wow. Yikes.
And he wouldn't come out, so I had to leave. Ouch. Oh man.
And now they're married.
Oh. You do. You either never speak again or you're with each other forever. Life. Yeah, that's how these stories go.
It's science.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually hurt from laughing so much. That is, wow. Okay. My cheeks hurt. Okay. So the name of this email is Inappropriate Propositions at Santa's Pub.
I hate it. Thanks. I hate it already.
Hey, worsties. I can't believe I didn't remember this sooner, but I'm sure my brain has been blocking it from my memory because it was certainly a memorable experience. So I met this guy on a dating app, of course. I can't remember his name for the life of me, nor can I remember which app I met him on. So we'll just say I met Andy on Tinder.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds right. We talked for only a couple of days and we decided to meet up totally impromptu on the first Friday after we started talking. He was going to a popular bar he claimed to frequent that I had obviously heard of but never been to. I get to the bar and he meets me on the porch. The first thing I notice is that he is dressed as if he just walked off the beach. Board shorts, flip-flops, and a Hawaiian shirt.
Oh my God. I hope it was like 40 degrees outside.
Did I mention that we live in Nashville?
But there's always that guy. There's always that guy.
My legs don't get cold.
Yeah, my legs don't get cold. I was on set. Yeah, I was on set and it was like 5 a.m. and it was fucking cold. Like it was cold outside. And there was a guy walking around in shorts, in cargo shorts. I was like, what? Why? What do you think you're proving right now?
Well,
like, who do you think is impressed
shorts.
by this?
You said the first buzzword I need.
Yeah, you're like
Cargo shorts.
Dead dick. It's one of those like X's or whatever.
No.
I just don't understand because clearly there is a thing when you're from the Midwest. There is like a breed of guy who thinks that it's like a sign of like strength.
Oh, right.
That they don't have to wear long pants or like closed-toed shoes.
How strong I was, but I don't wear pants.
Yeah, I'm like, why? You just look stupid. Anyway.
Right.
We say our hellos, and this guy spoke as if he were in his early 20s and lives to surf. We are both nearly 40.
Does he have one of those shell
A
necklaces?
puka shell necklace?
In my mind, he 100% does.
Yeah, he has a puka shell necklace, and also his hair has got like
tips.
Yeah,
sure.
he's got highlights. Yeah.
We are both nearly 40, and again, in Nashville. He asks if I want to drink.
A landlocked state for those of you who are not in
right.
Like Tennessee is landlocked for those of you who are not in the United States.
Beach. No beach.
Nary a beach near. He asks if I want to drink, and since I do, we finally walk in. As I have never been here before, I had no idea what to expect, so I was more than mildly surprised to find that inside of this bar was packed with much younger people.
Oh, this is a huge turnoff for me.
100.
It's huge. I'm not saying
Now,
that
hey, we hang with some younger people.
We do, but this is the reason why I
Our
call
friend group
people,
has been finely cultivated, though.
right, blood in, blood out. But this is the reason why I call people on the phone before I meet up with them, because I feel like there's something in someone's tone of voice and the way they communicate where you can tell right off the bat. You'd be like, we don't have that. Like, and to me, someone that's like, it makes me think of Matthew McConaughey. You know what I mean? In Dazed and Confused,
Absolutely.
where he's like trying to like hit on like young girls, or trying to be like, if you're like 40 and you're trying to be 20 like that, it's
Massive
such a
turn off. And I think we can all remember someone like that. And when you were in your early 20s or your late teens, you didn't think it was as weird as it is. And now you look back.
I thought it was weird then.
I didn't. And I look back now and I'm like, that 30-something-year-old had no business hanging out with a group of 19-year-olds.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. It's weird
creepy.
now.
It is. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
creepy. All right, so they were doing karaoke, but it was impossible to see the karaoke DJ or performer. We began weaving our way through the place over to the bar to grab drinks. Dude stops at nearly every other table, and at first I think he sees people he knows. Maybe they were just regulars. But eventually I realize he doesn't know any of these people, as they keep looking at me asking who he is. Of course, it's so loud I couldn't hear what he was saying. We end up making it... makes me think, like, do you work here?
That's what I was
Are you
just going to
here
say.
working?
Am I interrupting your shift?
Right? Are you just checking on your table?
Or are you trying to sell drugs to all these like,
I know.
20-year-olds?
Oh, Puka Shell dude is definitely Puka Andy.
He's in the bathroom at the... I'll bleep that out.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
We end up making it to the bar where a small group of women were sitting in stools. One of the women had her bottle held up for the bartender to see it, and he took her bottle and told her he'd take care of it. Also makes me think,
He's
you working?
You're working. Yeah.
She looked at me, and you could tell she was so uncomfortable as she said, "I'm so sorry. He doesn't have to do that." I just shrugged my shoulders and told her it was fine. As he was giving the chick her drink that he bought for her, the guy behind me asked if I was with him, and I told him kind of, but not really, as we just met. The guy then bought me a drink and handed it to me as Andy walked back over. He then told him how uncool it was for him to buy other women drinks if you were there with someone else. This guy is not on a shift. He is just fucking...
He's just a weirdo.
It's
weird.
Bizarre. Yeah.
I told Andy I needed to step outside as it was hot in there and there were so many people inside. This is where it gets good. So we're talking about our lives, where we're from, our kids, etc. Turns out he's from Florida and has a son he has custody of. He then tells me he would invite me back to... He would invite me back to his place, but his ex, baby mama, is staying with him for now because she is hiding from her current husband, who beats the shit out of her.
Oh, no.
Obviously, I tell him it's definitely not a problem, to which he says, "We can always go fuck in my car. It's parked over there."
40. This man is 40 years old.
Now,
"We can go fuck in my car. It's just in the parking lot. No
now,
big deal."
okay, I'm going to lay down the law. I have fucked in cars.
Oh, sure.
And, I'm
But
37.
not because somebody was like, "You know what? That's fine. I can't take it in my house, but we can go fuck in my car."
Exactly.
That's not
exactly.
it.
That's
That's
not
not
it.
it.
No, exactly.
I was
Oh.
stunned at first, but promptly declined his offer, to which he then replied, "Well, we don't have to do it in the parking lot. I know a perfect spot for not far from here where I go when I need to do drugs."
Oh.
Oh my God, can we please put on the Doors box set and I can just really remember being 16 again, dude?
Oh my God. Are we going to Lover's Lane?
Oh
my
God. I don't like that. Again, I turned him down and he said, "Well, if you change your mind."
I won't.
Then he asked if I wanted to take another lap inside. Motherfucker, do you own this bar? Like, you're just like, "Hey, how you guys doing? Good? Good? Need a beer? Got everything? Are you great?"
How fucking weird is that? If
It's
somebody
weird.
would come around and do
No.
that to us, I'd be like, what?
Who are you? Who are you?
You know what? I feel like probably that's happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
he leaves. She doesn't return. She's making apparently his lap around the bar. She makes him meet some guys in the back, in the
Patio.
patio area, and starts chatting them up. By 1:30, she's like, still hasn't seen this guy. So she's like, fuck it. I'm going home. She doesn't
She held out way longer than I would have.
Way longer.
Yeah.
Way longer.
She wakes up the next morning and had 10 to 15 missed calls starting from around 3:30 a.m. and ending around 5 a.m. Of course, I didn't call him back. He tried calling one more time the following Friday and I blocked his numbers.
That man was on cocaine.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
That man was on cocaine.
Yes.
Because that is the only... You were up all night until 5 in the morning?
That's cocaine.
Cocaine. She sees you ladies are the worst and Princey's the best. You make my commutes to and from work so enjoyable. I can't wait for you to come to Nashville for a live show.
Hell
God, hell
yes.
yeah. Oh my God, let's go party in
Definitely.
Nashville.
Dude, are we ready to party in Nashville?
I love Nashville.
Not with that guy, but...
No. We're not cocaine ready. Love you all, and I look forward to hearing more great stories and seeing more great things from you ladies.
Oh, yay. That was a great story. Dude, what the... Oh, that's a lot to
But
take
you know
in.
what? I bet that guy moved to California and we see him on occasion.
I have gone on a date with that guy, actually.
Yeah,
I went on a date a few weeks ago with that guy.
With Dubro?
Huh?
With Dubro?
Dubro, yeah.
We have frequented some dive bars in this city, and we have had some weird shit happen to us. Do you remember the guy who gave us all bath salts?
Yes.
Like full, not the drug, like full...
Yes, to be clear.
Opened containers of like
bath salt.
scented
It was
bath
for my
salts.
birthday.
That's right.
Yes, and
Mine was lavender.
Was that the
mine too.
Was that the year that the Pomeranian was there too?
I think there was a
Oh my
Pomeranian
God,
in
that's
that bar.
with that random chick that was like screaming.
So
metal
also like a
weird.
bad mom.
She was a very bad dog mom as well. Yeah, I mean, so we have seen some characters.
Yes.
And those people are on dating apps.
Yep.
Those people are on fucking dating apps.
So call
Could
them.
you fucking imagine showing up to one of those guys?
no.
Bath salts guy?
Or the I give out mushrooms in the dive bar bathroom guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that guy.
That we've encountered on
Oh, yeah.
occasion. Like,
Yep.
you
Well-
know.
Well, we didn't
Well,
because we didn't go to the men's restroom, but
by proxy.
by proxy.
by proxy we have.
We know. Yeah.
Hoy vey. Okay. So
Exactly.
this was sent to us, and we guessed it on Boobies and Newbies, and Kelly from Boobies and Newbies was asking for holiday dating stories for us to feature during our episode. So that episode either has already come out or will come out soon, so go listen to it. She sent us this for that, but we were already done recording, so we missed our opening there.
We got you here, girl.
Yes, so it is a holiday story.
Yes.
Here we go, all caps. Traditionally speaking, Christmas Eve has been the Super Bowl for most of my bad decisions.
Yes. Yep.
That is the best opener ever, actually.
And this year in particular wasn't going to interrupt my stellar record of train wreck mishaps. So I'm dating this guy in college, and this was to be my first Christmas meeting his extended family already. The night
my
before
armpits are already
Christmas,
sweating.
we decide to go eat sushi, and we run into my bar manager and his girlfriend. After many sake bombs and other drinks, we decide it's a great idea to run to our bar that's closed and grab a bottle of Jaeger.
Oh.
Absolutely not. No.
First mistake.
That's one alcohol that I cannot do.
I don't fuck with that.
Do not fuck with that. But it gets worse. Grab a bottle of Jaeger, vodka, a case of Red Bull, and a few 12 packs of Bud Light. Keep in mind, there's still only 4 of us.
I was just
So
going to
a
say,
late
did
night?
you pick up like 5 other people? Or it's Puka Shell guy.
He's like,
there.
I got one of
King.
these 12 packs all to myself. Because like a few 12 packs for 4 people alone is like a lot.
Yeah.
And you've already, how many sake bombs deep are you? And also, can we talk about sake bombs and Jaeger bombs in one night?
Dude, I'd be out and like I could throw it back. I can throw it the fuck back. But just listening
like
to that,
that.
I'm like,
I'm actually drunk,
I had
just
to
heard that.
I had to take the next week off. Of
No,
work.
I mean, we're drinkers in this room.
Yeah.
And I absolutely won't do that to my body. And I will eat Taco Bell at 3 a.m. and I won't do this to my body. So there's that.
Yes.
But at 22 or whatever, you think you're fucking invincible, or like however old you are when you're in college.
this is going to go to White Castle, isn't it? This story is going to White Castle.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's White Castle drunk.
The next morning, we wake up and head to his parents' house first to open presents. So keep in mind, she was doing that shit on Christmas Eve. You're meeting your boyfriend's extended family for the first time the next day. I'm surprised I'm not dead. Most of my parts wish I was.
Yep.
Of
Sounds
course,
right.
yeah. Back in these days, a simple egg McMuffin and nasty concentrated orange juice would cure a hangover.
Yeah. I remember being 20.
You know, I never could, still can't eat greasy food when I'm hungover.
Oh, it's the best.
I can't do it.
Yeah,
like my
I
body
have to.
repels it.
Mine's a sausage biscuit.
Yes.
Like literally just plain sausage biscuit from McDonald's cures a hangover for me.
I can't
Sausage
do it.
egg.
I either need something plain like saltine crackers, or I'm weird and my body is like, if you don't replenish with vitamins and minerals right now, like I need to have like a smoothie.
Also Diet Coke. I like the sparkly aspartame goodness. So Diet Coke and a sausage biscuit's my hangover cure. Boy,
Now I want McDonald's. I'm so hungry.
McDonald's
garbage
breakfast
person.
is the best. I don't
It
care.
really is.
Being so hungover, we don't realize that everything is closed in this college town. It's Christmas. We decide to carry on to his parents' house, as I'm sure we're already running a little behind by the tension building in the car. So he's like, get in the car, get in the car, get in the car. My boyfriend keeps mentioning how much I'm going to love his present and that it's super thoughtful. Spoiler alert, it wasn't.
Oh, no.
We get to his parents' house. They give way too strong of hugs for for a hungover girl and immediately want us to open presents.
I hate this.
He rolls this big ass box towards me. I pull away a giant piece of wrapping paper and the room fills with the smell of cardboard. My senses are so magnified as I'm way too hungover. I feel my facial expressions getting out of control. I'm sure my face is green and it's getting so hot in this damn house.
Oh.
That is so true. When you're trying to keep it together, when you are hung over and you're trying to act like everything is
Everything's fine. It makes it worse.
Oh my God. It's
Like,
so bad.
If I'm hungover, I need to just feel hungover.
Just
There's
let
something
me-
about like trying to power through it that actually amplifies it.
Right. I want to put on my hood to my hoodie and literally just like close those drawstrings.
Yeah, real tight.
Real tight. It's just a circle.
Only nose out.
Just nose out. Like, and I need to curl up in the fetal position on the couch. That's what needs to happen. I pull it together and open his present without puking. Thank God. Oh, he bought me a 300-pound flat screen TV.
What?
I know. Super thoughtful. I mean, it's a good gift, but it's not necessarily a thoughtful gift. I
Right.
think sometimes, not men, I guess people don't understand the difference between like expensive and like thoughtful.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
I worked with a friend who was like notoriously the worst at gift giving. And I remember for one Christmas, his wife finally got so fed up when his big Christmas gift to her was a pair of orange Crocs.
Oh,
And she was
What
just,
is this?
it's, I'll bleep out. It's,
No, he did not.
yeah.
No.
He's the worst. He's the worst gift giver ever.
No.
Orange
Who?
fucking Crocs. And was like, get the fuck out. She was so
actually,
mad.
you need to
fucking
move out.
serious?
You need to move out
Are
now.
you fucking serious?
the best.
I would fucking die.
I love that story.
Oh my
It's like,
God.
nobody wants that.
No
It's your
one.
wife, Mario Batali. She work in the kitchen? No.
No.
She doesn't want fucking Crocs. Nobody does.
Bright orange Crocs.
It's so weird.
Well, somebody does because that company is still in
Still
business.
around.
Dude, chefs, they're great for chefs. They're
Yeah.
great for people that work in the kitchen. Though, like,
Yeah, no. No. I hate it. What? Okay, sorry.
She says, okay. Anyway, he opens his presents from his parents, and we are off to meet his lovely Cuban grandmother and all of his cousins.
Ooh,
That's
you're
a lot.
not done yet?
No, there's a lot to the story. In the car, he is emotional and wants to pick this time to point out that my reaction to his gift, quote, wasn't what he thought it would be. I explained that the cardboard smell was so overwhelming, and I'm just glad I didn't vomit all over the box and his family. I just needed something of substance in my system. He interrupts that we are almost to his family's house, that he's sure there will be plenty to eat, that everyone will love me, and that we can discuss the TV later. We are bringing this back up when you feel better.
Oh, no. I don't like that.
It's TV, bro.
It's fine. Calm down. We pull up to this adorable white house, probably 1,000 square feet, and as we open the door, we are hit with the most amazing smells of food. The dishes must have been slowly simmering to perfection for about 50 hours. You could tell that the food had love behind it, and if you couldn't, you felt it by all the hugs and kisses from his closest 25 family members.
Oh, small
That's a tight house.
Yep.
Hot house.
Hot. You're fucking
Full of
sweating.
smells.
Yes. You're sweating Jaeger at this point. I scan the kitchen and his grandma comes over. Dear, are you hungry? Yes, ma'am. I really just need something. She continues to tell me that they are almost done cooking and it should only be about 40 minutes or so. Panic ensues. I'm not going to make it 40 minutes. I just need a cracker, a piece of bread, a fucking crouton. The room is getting hotter and I'm able to hold it together. The torture of watching, no one really cooking, and the dish is just sitting there for about 30 minutes when all of a sudden, okay, everyone, dinner is ready. I honestly still don't know what needed 30 minutes, but everything was amazing. I loaded the largest plate. I ate like I had just made it to the merge in Survivor.
Yes! I love this story.
I can't help it. I dive straight in. I am so happy to fill my stomach as quickly as possible. My stomach, oh, you sweet, naive 22-year-old alcohol-lined stomach. My eyes get glassy. My throat gets watery, and it's getting even hotter with everyone gathering throughout the house eating. I pan the room for the single bathroom. It's occupied, of course. 25 people in one bathroom? Oi. I whisper to my boyfriend, I need to go outside. He has a worried look, and I'm able to quickly walk with the most nervous fake smile I've ever possessed. Everything's fine. Just kidding. You're pouring sweat. You're just dripping sweat at this point. I'm outside. It's 36 degrees. Feels amazing. Steam is coming off of every part of my skin. I run to the tree line behind his grandma's rose bush, her favorite. The entire meal was revisited as I threw every single thing up.
No.
The sounds that were coming from behind that bush would have scared children from miles away. Afterwards, I took a minute and thought, I wonder how many people are watching through the small kitchen window. As I turned slowly, I heard many footsteps and furniture adjust. So I'm sure it was a show. I make my way back into the house where the most unfortunate thing occurs. Completely ashamed, I take myself back inside, and within minutes, I feel a million times better. Everyone hangs out for an extremely long time, and I happen to fall asleep. My head is in my boyfriend's lap, and I'm occupying only my side of the couch and his lap. I feel it necessary to point out that although I was a complete train wreck, I wasn't about to take up too much couch space. She's from the Midwest?
Yeah.
Because I would have done the same thing. I'm like, one cushion. Squeeze up your whole body into one cushion. Anyway, I fall asleep, and apparently this is where I decide to start moaning. Yep, my ass decides to have a full-on sex stream in the middle of the family story sharing time. My boyfriend shakes me awake and whispers in my ear, we are going to talk about this later, but right now, you cannot go back to sleep.
No.
Dude. Oh my God. That was the last time I was physically at his family's house, but something tells me his wife is overhearing them retell the story of that time he brought that train wreck over to shower grandma's roses with vomit before coming on grandma's couch. That's the most mortifying thing I've ever heard. That's the most. I would have left. I'm like, I'm sorry. You can get an Uber back to the dorm. I gotta go. I gotta go. We're gonna talk about this later.
No, we're good.
No, we're not. We're not.
You go ahead and return that TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep it. You can keep it.
Oh my God.
You don't have to call me again. It's fine.
I understand.
Wow.
I understand. This all makes sense. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad that we're in a good mood because I'm
about to
blow it.
About to blow it.
Is Chris back with the wine or not? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Let's check. We may want to restock. So I'm going to trigger warning this.
Okay.
First of all.
Okay.
It's that bad.
Okay.
It is, there is violence against children and animals in this. Just be warned. I got a lot of my information from this book by Jerry Bledsoe. He wrote for Greensboro Times, and he did like a series of articles, and then it turned it into a book called Bitter Blood. And I listened.
So familiar
It sounds
now.
super familiar.
Yeah, I listened to Southern Fried True Crime, which is another podcast. By the way, her voice is like honey.
Oh, really?
It was
I've
wonderful.
never listened to it.
Yeah, it was.
I love a good Southern accent.
Yeah.
like a molasses Southern accent.
Yeah,
Yes.
really enjoyed that podcast. And then I guess I found out afterwards that it was on a My Favorite Murder live episode, but
Okay.
I never listened to those, so like I must have missed it. But this is the Bitter Blood Murders.
I know this. I know this one.
I know. Yeah,
We
this
probably
one's-
do, yeah.
You would you know it, but this is about as crazy in love as you get,
Okay.
and I'll explain why I chose it as we go. So we'll start with Susie Sharp Newsome. She went by Susie Q. She was named after her aunt, Susie, who is like one of the first female judges in North Carolina. Her family is important. They're a very prominent family in North Carolina, the Newsomes and the Sharps. So like she had like a really blessed childhood. She was delivered by her uncle, Dr. Klenner, and he said that she had
Time out.
yeah.
I don't want either that's your brother or that's your brother-in-law.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
they're
think family
looking
was
at your
allowed
vag.
to do that.
I do not want you in my vag.
Yeah, no,
At
he
all.
He was all up in there, and he
Oh,
delivered
no
her.
badge. Here's the question I have: I thought doctors weren't allowed to practice on family?
I don't know, but he did.
Huh.
He would have been, because he was married to Annie Hill Sharp, and she was a Newsome. So it was
Well,
it's like
a
uncle
couple of
by
things.
marriage.
What year?
Oh, okay.
This was like in the late 60s that she was born.
So the 60s, and also really rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suits.
One, rich people get to do whatever they want. Two, the 1960s, I think rules were probably different.
Right.
Sure.
So she went by Susie Q to differentiate herself from who she called Aunt Susu, which was the judge in the
Aunt
family.
Susu. That's
And
cute.
because she was born with what the doctor said was a heart murmur, he said in order to treat it that she must not ever become excited, ever. You must
know
not
the story.
excite her at all. And so she was incredibly spoiled. She had to have everything her way.
Oh, the
immediately.
worst. The
And if
worst
she-
type of child.
If she did have a temper tantrum, the only way to calm her down was to pour cold water on her. Like she was just so incorrigible. But she grew up beautiful. She grew up intelligent. She also grew up incredibly headstrong and had to have her way. So she goes to Wake Forest University, and there she meets a young basketball player named Tom Lynch, and he's a couple years younger than her, and he immediately feels like, I mean, she's like the fraternity sweetheart. She is beautiful. Pictures of her at that time, she was like May Queen. She was all of these things, and Tom can't believe that he's
Snagged
one.
the beauty.
Yeah. And he comes from a pretty prominent family too. Like everything makes sense on paper. And so he gets excited. They start to become serious, and he takes her home to meet his mother and his sister. So Tom's mother, Dolores, was also a very headstrong, kind of like intense woman. She
Southern matriarchs are intense.
So I'm like, it's so funny when you learn about Dolores. I'm like, dude, Tom went and married his mother.
Yeah.
He really
Sounds
did.
like it.
He really did. And I don't know why he thought that they would ever get along. It was hate at first sight. Dolores hated Susie, thought she was haughty, thought that she was better than everybody else. And I mean, she
Takes one to know one.
exactly, like they just both hated each other. And at the end of the day, like, of course, Tom like picked Susie and was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna let this woman tell me what to do now. Because so they get married. Of course, like the day is overshadowed by Dolores and Susie like having a big old fight.
oh my God. Get the fuck
She
over
blows.
it.
She blows up about Janie, Tom's sister's bridal or what bridesmaid's dress was wrinkled. And so her and Dolores get into a screaming match about it because Susie's like, she's not going to be in my wedding. Her dress is wrinkled.
Oh my God. Like, I just, as someone planning a wedding right now, who fucking has the energy? This is rich person energy of like, you clearly aren't concerned about fucking anything else.
Yeah.
If you have time to be this upset about something like that. Like
people that like want to start drama. Like
100.
Who's got time for that? I mean, I guess rich people.
Rich people do.
Yeah, exactly. So they get married and they move to Lexington, Kentucky because Tom had just graduated and he was going to dental school there. So unfortunately for Susie, that meant that they were only like a half an hour away from Dolores, who she was just like, we're never visiting. And in fact, when she had her first son, it actually took like forever before Dolores was allowed to see him. And even then she had to stay at a hotel and call ahead to make an appointment. I really think that if I hated my mother-in-law that much, it would be a deal breaker for the entire relationship, because it's just like, you have to see that person all the time. You have to make it work. Like that's not according to Susie.
Susie's like, no, goodbye.
She's like, no.
She's like, Dolores will be dead soon. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so much tension. But finally, like, Tom moves to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Susie's like grateful for the distance, but immediately she fucking hates New Mexico so much. Nobody gives a fuck about her Southern family there, or her breeding, or like people.
They sure do not.
Nothing here.
Let me tell you, as someone whose family is from New Mexico, I was born in Albuquerque. New Mexico is a different animal. Mm-hmm. Albuquerque specifically is. I was listening to Behind the Bastards, and they were talking. It was Robert Evans and Billy Wayne. Were talking about Billy Wayne Davis. We're talking about Albuquerque, and both of them were like, it's a weirder place than you would think it is. It's a completely bizarre place. And yeah, they give absolutely, of anywhere I've lived, they give less fucks about like status and stuff like that. They just don't care.
Which is great. I personally like that.
They don't care.
Like, so that's where we're building our confidence, actually.
If you're used to that, like if you're used to getting attention for being like a special like that, they're not going to give you that kind of attention in Albuquerque. Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah. So by this point, like they've been married like 9 years or so. They have 2 boys at this point, and the marriage is just on the rocks. You know, like Susie doesn't like being so far away and in a place that she hates. She doesn't really have friends. She's kind of aimless. She's taking care of the boys all the time, and Tom is never home. Neighbors hate her. They are fairly certain that she's beating the kids. One of the kids gets put in the hospital. He's got a bump on his head and a concussion, and she tells varying stories, and people start to like talk to Tom. They're like, I'm pretty sure that Susie's like losing her temper on the kids, and he kind of like refuses to believe it, but she's home alone with them all the time, and she doesn't have any friends or anything. Like she's just losing it. Mm-hmm. So her
lashing
out, and she her grandfather gets sick back in Greensboro, and so she uses it as an excuse. She's like, I'm going to go back while he's, you know, sick and, you know, take the boys back and visit them. As soon as she lands, she files separation paperwork and is like, yeah, and I'm not coming back. Tom said it's not really a surprise at all. Like things have been going so sour for so long, and he didn't really fight it. He felt really bad about
like the kids.
And I did watch an Discovery Investigate. Is called Southern Fried Homicide. And it was
genius.
Season 1, episode 1. It's called Kissing Cousins. And so it has Tom Lynch on it. They interview him and some of the other cops. And
so she took the kids with her to Greensboro and then filed. So something that I learned from Marriage Story, if you file and you have the kids in your custody with you in that state, it's going to be really fucking hard. If you're living somewhere else, it's going to be like nearly impossible to get custody of your kids without moving back to where they are.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too. At this time, it's like the late 70s, and it's just like
Custody goes to the mom.
Custody goes to the mom.
Yeah.
He wasn't fighting for full custody.
Right.
He
Just
didn't
wanted to see the kids.
He just wanted his fair share.
Yeah.
So they get back to Greensboro, and Susie is just like, I mean, you're separating from a 9-year marriage, even when you're unhappy. I know this. That it's still like a change. It's a transition. She's aimless. She doesn't know what she's doing. She decides on a whim to go to China to teach English. And I can understand, like, I feel like people react to trauma and change in different ways.
Yeah.
Where, like, some people, like, hunker in or hunker down and just try to, like, day by day, step by step, like, or some people are a little bit more impulsive.
Yeah.
And are like, I'm just going to move to China.
Well, here's the thing. I'm impulsive. I think I would lean that direction of just, like, especially as somebody who moved a lot growing up. Like I was just having this conversation with Anthony that this is the longest I've ever lived in a place. And it does, you start to get, no matter how happy you are, you start to get that like, oh, I need to leave, you know? Yeah. So I feel like I would lean that way, but I don't have fucking kids.
Yeah. And also I think when I read through this thing, I personally think that it was a reaction to hearing that Tom was dating so quickly, because there are some indications that she thought that he would come and try to get her back. And the fact that he was like, bye, and started dating someone else really quickly makes me think that then she got like, it was the impetus for her being impulsive and be like, well, fuck you. And you're never going to see your kids.
You're dealing with a person also who like is so fucking used to getting what they want.
Exactly.
Like, you know?
Exactly.
How dare you?
How dare you? So she goes to China, and it's supposed to be for like a year, but it's a mess. It's not what she thought it was going to be. It's polluted. She's living in a place that's not up to her quote unquote standards or what have you. So they only make it like 6 months. When she gets back, she moves in with her parents, Bob and Florence Newsome. And Florence is like, she looks terrible. She's completely different person. Like, okay, she was always spoiled and headstrong, but she was like fun and social when she grew up. That's how people knew her. People liked her. She had friends. She had social engagements. She comes back from China and everyone's like, she's so different. She's lost an insane amount of weight, dark circles under her eyes. She seems withdrawn and just depressed.
Sounds drugs.
Sounds like depression.
Oh,
like
that's true.
Big time.
Yeah.
You know? And so her mom's like, okay, this is not like you. You need to go see your uncle. Now, let's talk about her uncle, Dr. Fred Klenner, Sr. Can we
skip this part?
He has a clinic that even up into the 80s still wasn't integrated.
It was segregated.
It was segregated.
Into the 80s.
Segregated.
Oh.
Waiting room. He
in the
hated
80s.
In the 80s.
In South Carolina? Where are they at?
North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Mm-hmm. He hated communists. He hated minorities, and he loved him some Hitler.
Oh, so Thanksgiving with him would have been real fun.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
So much Hitler stuff in their house. Loved Hitler. You know what else they loved? Vitamin C and B12, which Dr. Klenner was like, vitamin C cures polio and multiple sclerosis.
Oh my God, you are not a doctor. I feel like this is a person who was just like, I'm a doctor. And everybody was like, okay.
No, but that was his son. Dr. Klenner was actually a doctor. His son, Dr. Fritz Klenner, not a doctor.
Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on. You named your kid Fritz. You're not allowed to be obsessed with Nazis and name your kid Fritz if you live in North Carolina. No.
Fritz Klenner grew up with a father who obviously had very strange beliefs and was very, I mean, I can only imagine what that childhood was like. However, he's like, I see what you're at. You're like level 8. I'm going to pump this bitch up to 21.
This one goes all the way to 11.
Exactly. He goes whole hog. He is a liar big time because he's just an underachiever. Like he goes to college and he's like, oh, yeah. I graduated. Totes graduated college. Didn't graduate college.
No.
He's like, I'm going to Duke University for medical school. I'm like top of my class. No,
you're not.
No, never went to Duke. Also, he was in the CIA. He was a hero in the Vietnam War. He was in the FBI. He beat off a group of black people one night who tried to rob him by using karate.
Beat off.
Okay.
By beat off, he means like literally just gave them all handies, right?
Yeah, it's insane. And so people his age like call him Dr. Crazy. His dad either refuses to acknowledge that his son has a problem or what. Regardless, he lets him work.
Dad isn't really all there. I mean, like, he's not the best judge of what's normal or sane.
Right. So he lets him work at his clinic. So there's 2 Dr. Klenners in this clinic. They both love vitamins and Nazis. So needless to say, they are technically like, that's her uncle and that's her cousin, but they're not close with the rest of the family. They're kind of the black sheep of the family because...
Thank God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's extreme.
Is he the one who delivered her?
Yeah. The senior one.
Actual shit.
Yeah.
I am not letting my Nazi brother-in-law anywhere near
my vagine. Yeah, no.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So, okay. So she goes in and Dr. Klenner Sr. is like, you have MS, which is something he told like everybody because then he's like, and I'm going to give you vitamins and cure you. So
here's an actual bucket of B12. So just take 50 in the morning and 50 before bed.
Pretty fucking much. So soon, like her energy comes back because B12 will give you energy, but it's not going to fix the fact that she's like obviously dealing with some mental health
This is
issues.
the 80s. Like she should have gone to a therapist.
Right.
But people were like, therapy is scary.
Yeah.
So we're just going to send you to this quack doctor instead.
And pump you full of vitamin C.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's at this point, like she begins to become like more and more paranoid that like Tom is going to take her kids away. And like, this whole thing and that's what makes me think that it's got to be some mental health thing, but obviously she didn't go to a therapist or anything like that or really open up to people, so it's only speculation that she was like people were like she's just became super paranoid. She became very overprotective of her kids, especially once she brought them back from China. She was like they were not allowed to talk to their dad on the phone. They were not allowed to talk to Dolores on the phone. And like Florence is like, they're living with her. So she's like, they were just like not allowed to be kids. They weren't like allowed to go outside. And then.
So they were raised quite opposite of her.
Right. Yeah. Fritz starts coming over. Fritz, her cousin.
Doesn't need to do that.
And Florence is like, why is Fritz coming to our house late at night? I don't like it. And pretty soon gossip starts spreading around town because, you know, they're first cousins. It's not cool. Even back then, like that just wasn't something that like people did.
Yeah. First cousins, not ideal.
No, not great.
I don't like
and
it.
like people are just talking because their behavior is like, it's just different. And so now this is like the icing on the cake.
Of everyone, okay, there are so many people in the state of North Carolina.
There's a lot.
There are so many. Mm-hmm. And there are so many who are not Nazi liars.
Or related to you.
Yeah, there are so many things here that I'm like, why?
And here's where I come, because I'm like, I read a book, I listened to like 2 podcasts and watched like an investigate discovery about it. So these are my 2 cents. Take it with a grain of salt. But what I read into it is that like she had always gotten her way, and she was just. It seems like she was feeling like things were slipping, and obviously like this paranoia and depression, that sort of thing, was someone coming in.
Yeah.
Fritz was somebody who literally in 1 year alone got 52 permits for 52 different guns. That's a gun a week. Literally was preparing for end times and was like, I've been in the CIA. I've had these covert missions. Like he's like rugged and outdoorsy and stuff. And I feel like she just got to this place where
This guy can protect me.
This guy can protect me.
Yep.
Yeah. And he would say, I'll protect you. Like Tom will never get those kids, that kind of thing. And I just feel like I mean, I don't know how you can buy all that bull crap unless you're like kind of lying to yourself too at that point. But she had isolated herself because the latest thing happens. She gets in a huge fight with Florence, her mom, where she's living. Because Florence is like, like, not your crazy fucking cousin. Like, what are you doing? Like, this guy's insane. And she's like, you're never going to see the kids again because she likes to play the kids like pawns. And like, you can't tell me what to do, and moves out. Florence is like beside herself.
Well, I have to say this. This is why you don't treat your kids like you don't idolize your kids like that when they're little, because like you created this monster, like you did. Like you can't treat them like little precious things that always get their way and you just praise them all the time for every little thing because they have no ability to like adapt.
They can't function.
Yeah. Can't cope when things don't go the way that they're supposed to go.
Yeah, and so it's not really a surprise that she responded to a difficult, rough patch in her life like this.
Right.
You know?
So, and this is the reason why I tell this story is because once she moves out and moves into her own place, of course, Fritz like moves himself right in. And I feel like this is what terrifies me about this story. There's so much that does, but this is really what nails it down to me is like, I feel like you can meet somebody and fall in love that amplifies your best traits and makes you better. Or sometimes you meet somebody and fall in love with somebody that amplifies your worst traits. And actually like being able to recognize that, being able to step back and be like, wow, I don't like the person that I am with you is something that should have happened, that she should have been able to look in the mirror and realize what was happening. But she didn't.
You know what? I feel like she probably wasn't able to do that because when you are so used to being praised for absolutely everything, and then you hit a point when people are being critical of you and like being critical of your decisions, and that comes as a surprise to you, and then you meet somebody who is praising your bad behavior and your bad decisions and feeding into your bad decisions, you're just like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. So literally it's like, to me, like looks like water going down the drain.
Yeah.
This is where this story goes. It's a fucking spiral out of control because they literally do. They are two bad people that make each other 10 billion times worse because they're stockpiling guns. They're stockpiling vitamins. They are
I'm sorry.
Not only that,
many vitamins.
Finally, like Tom gets to see his kids after 2 years of not getting to see him. I mean, this divorce custody thing was just like a fucking nightmare. He capitulates to every single one of her financial decisions just so he can see his kids. Wow. So he hasn't seen them in 2 years. They come off the plane. They are pale. They are underweight. They're not really making eye contact.
Well, yeah, and you can't
all
have
in
a
their
cocktail
luggage is a giant thing of vitamins.
Yeah, you can't have a cocktail of multivitamins for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day.
Wow.
Like that's not how kids work.
They're like, Dad's like, where's your pajamas? I have Flintstones.
Exactly. Some vitamin C and vitamin C and more vitamin C. But yeah, so he's like mortified. And he's like, oh, I can't believe this. Like, and he gets them to open up and gets them to be
what's
kids. Happening. Yeah, again, and he's like, goes straight to his lawyer, and he's like, "This, we got to work something out. This is not okay." Because their custody agreement was like he could get them 2 weeks in the summer and like a week at Christmas. That's it.
Jesus.
And not only that, the boys are too young to travel by themselves, according to Susie. So not only does he have to pay for their airfare round trip, he has to pay for her to drop them off and
go
pick
back.
them up. Yeah.
So
it's
how
just
old are they at this point?
Like they're like 10 and 9.
I could be completely naive about this, but it really bothers me that people don't treat children like autonomous human beings who are capable of having a
feelings.
say in what happens to them. Because I feel like oftentimes in situations like this, when they're like 9 and 10, 11, 12, like you should be able to ask them what they want.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that there's something though to be said about it as a child manipulating that situation, which is like, well, I can eat as much candy as I want if I'm at this parent's house, and she doesn't even care if I do whatever.
So I'm not saying
doesn't mean they're putting in the best situation.
I'm not saying like they should be able to make the decision,
right?
But the fact that like up until recently and even now, we don't ask kids what they want.
Right.
Like we treat kids as though like they're unable to have opinions or like they're not like autonomous human beings.
Considerations. I think they ask and they take it into consideration, but I don't think that
not in a lot of situations that I've seen. Not in a lot of divorce situations that I've seen personally in my life, at least not that I'm aware of, have the kids been like asked.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure
often
it depends on age as well, like
and especially back then, it was so much like the mom, it went without saying.
Yeah.
Right.
That was what was going to happen.
So the boys are just wrapping up their trip. Mm-hmm. They're almost done getting ready to fly home when Tom gets horrendous news. July 1984, like Dolores was just one Sunday afternoon coming back from church and gets out of her car at the top of the driveway and gets blasted in the back of the head with a shotgun, like dead.
Who could it be?
And runs Janie.
God, I really wish I knew somebody who had like 16,000 guns.
I know. At this point, if you get one a week, Janie inside hears the gunshot and is quickly overtaken by the assailant and is also shot and killed. A couple days later, like their friends are worried because they can't get a hold of Dolores and go and find the scene. Tom is notified. He cannot believe it. The police are stumped. It looks like a professional hit.
Jesus.
They have no idea. It appears to be like a staged robbery, which also I wanted to talk to you guys. If you're going to stage a robbery, just actually rob some shit.
Yeah.
Because every time they fucking know. I'm like, who is still trying to stage a robbery? Just take shit.
Yes, just do it. Honestly,
you already killed people.
Yeah, you might as well.
You might as well take
shit. Every fucking time when you're watching Dateline, it's like they unplugged a few electronics and opened some drawers. And you're like, what? Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Just take that DVD player.
Take it. Exactly. Anyways,
not to give you tips.
Exactly, but it always just drives me nuts. I wondered if it drove you guys nuts.
Yes, no, it absolutely does.
100%.
So stupid. But so okay, they're stumped. They have no idea. And Tom calls Susie, and he's like, "Can the boys please stay and we can grieve as a family?" She's like, "No." So the boys are back, or what have you. Tom gets this really nice card actually from Bob and Florence Newsom for like condolences. They're like, "We are so sorry for your loss."
Yeah.
He takes that opportunity to reach out to them. He's like, "Listen, like I miss
she's
the
your daughter.
boys.
I know you love her."
Exactly. And they're actually really kind to him because Susie's behavior is kind of quackadoodle.
Yeah.
And Tom's always been a nice stand-up guy. They've never had a problem with Tom. It just didn't work out.
Sure.
And they agree with what he's saying. They're like, the boys could use some time with their father, and we do want you to have a good relationship. So this correspondence is happening like over months and months, and they agree. They're like, you know what? Like at your next custody hearing, we will help you. We'll help you out. We'll testify.
Tis not.
Yeah. So the weekend of May 19th, 1985 comes, and this one's rough. Bob and Florence are at their mother, like Hattie's house, because they're actually planning on moving in with Hattie. Hattie is like in her 80s, and she has a whole big house to herself.
I love an old lady named Hattie.
I know.
Me
She still did her gardening and everything. She's a spry 86-year-old. And Bob and Florence would stay there on the weekends because they were helping her fix it up, and they were going to move in with her. Someone breaks in and shoots all three of them. Along with that, they actually also brutally stab and overkill Florence. So Florence is just like obviously the target of this. So the police are like, this is huge news. This shit does not happen. A triple homicide that looks like an execution in Greensboro, North Carolina. Like, get the fuck out of here.
But let's look at the links here.
Yeah.
You have one side of the family that had a hit out on them.
That happened in Kentucky. So
maybe the police departments didn't communicate with each other.
Correct. Sure. But as soon as they talk to Rob, who is Susie's brother, he go, it's so weird. Just last year, just like not even a year ago, the lynches were.
Yeah, that's so weird.
And they're like,
isn't that so odd?
That is weird.
That is weird.
And they do actually look into it, and they're like, that's really strange. And not only that, the one clue that they had that they were like, this is really weird, was like burned paper in between the bodies that had come out of Bob's briefcase. And they start to piece together like, oh, this must be like custody paperwork and shit like that.
Shit.
So they're like, they're pretty on it, like right away. They're like, okay, like Susie is obviously the common denominator in this. They're talking to Tom because as soon as Tom hears about Bob and Floyd, he calls the police department immediately. He's like, he says in the documentary, he's like, I was still in the chair. I had gotten the call. I hung up and called the police department.
Yep.
Like I didn't move. That was the very first thing I did. So they're pretty hip to it. A lot of people are like, this is what's going on. So they end up finding out, like, they talk to Fritz, and Fritz is like, nah, I was out camping with this dude, Ian, all weekend, so it wasn't me, bro. So they're like, cool. They talk to Ian, and, like, 5 minutes into interrogation, he's like, he's with the CIA, and I was trying out, like, I was supposed to be his driver, and then he was going to introduce me to his CIA contacts. Now, poor Ian is bless your heart all day because he's 21 years old. He grew up like going camping with Fritz and like growing up with his CIA and FBI stories, and actually, bless his heart, believed them. Which the police are quick to be like, hey, do you know like all of this is so fake? And he breaks down. He is overwhelmed by guilt before even like he doesn't have a lawyer or before getting any kind of legal agreement. He's like, what can I do to make this right? Like, I'll wear a wire. I'll do like, he feels responsible.
I need to fix this,
which ends up like playing to his favor later, but puts his life on the line to wear a wire, not once, not twice, but 3 times to try to get a confession out of Fritz. But he's just kind of a dumb 21-year-old.
Oh, God.
The closest he gets is finally on the third time, where Fritz finally goes so far as to say, listen, I'll write a paper saying that you thought it was a hit for the government and you're not going to see me again. Okay. And like, that's finally enough for the police to be like, that's enough of a confession. Like, we got to go.
Yeah, we got to take this guy out.
So they're on their way to like get a warrant. Fritz is like, hightails it back to the house in his Blazer.
Always a Blazer.
So
to his house that has 52 guns in it?
At least.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That seems safe.
The house is surrounded by detectives. Okay. And they're like, Tom gets really upset about this because they're like, why didn't they arrest him? Why are they just watching the house? And he's like, I think that they were cowards because they knew that he had all these fucking guns on him. But
that's not cowardly. That's fucking smart.
Exactly. So but here's what happens next. This is the bad part.
Yeah.
If you don't want to hear it, I mean, it's bad already, but this is the real bad part. Fritz, packs up like a bunch of camping supplies, and like the detectives like call and they're like, we need to get police out here soon. It looks like they're going to go on the run. He packs up Susie, packs up the 2 boys and their 2 chow chow dogs. And they back out of the Blazer and start driving off. So then they pursue. They're like, all right, we gotta pull him over. We gotta arrest him. Well, Fritz decides to pull out a 9mm Uzi submachine gun and start shooting. He shoots, like he actually, like police are trying to barricade him, and the police officers are like looking. They see Susie, like literally just like this one cop's like, it was chilling. I made eye contact with her, no expression whatsoever on her face, just blank look as Fritz pulls out a fucking submachine gun and starts shooting at cops.
Wow.
They're on like busy streets. There's a civilian, like there, I mean, people are ducking for cover, and someone's firing a submachine gun. So they pursue. He gets out. He shoots at people. He injures like 3 cops. Finally, they get him trapped, and they see the car like a little bit ahead. He's like stopped, and they're kind of like tense, waiting. They think he's going to get out of the car again and start firing the machine gun again. Except all of a sudden they hear a giant clap, and the car explodes. Literally pieces raining down, and it happens across the street from a school bus stop with children.
And you see, like, I know hindsight is 2020, but in Tom's defense, one, of course, it's grief because those are your kids, but also, yes, it would have been dangerous to approach the house, but what you've done now is you let him leave and endanger the lives of civilians.
Yeah. Exactly. Because there's articles from like 30 years later where like people, like little kids that witnessed this because body parts rain down.
Jesus Christ.
Like half of Susie's body ends up in a ditch. And I'm like, school kids fucking see this.
Again, hindsight is 2020. They probably didn't have a lot of experience with this kind of thing.
Oh, yeah,
so they
definitely
didn't.
not.
They didn't really know like what the best case scenario. The best course of action would have been. Mm-hmm. Looking back, yeah, they probably should have approached him in the house.
Yeah,
because it's just like, yeah, it could have been a disastrous situation,
right?
But it was a disastrous situation anyway, and you endangered the lives of civilians.
Pull him over and take him in on the way home. Before he even got to the fucking house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, so Fritz gets blown like 100 yards away, and a cop like runs up to him trying to get like a deathbed confession. Pretty much, they don't get it. He chokes on his blood and dies. They find the boys tangled with the dogs, but what's apparent is that they actually died of gunshot wounds to the head. Oh
my God.
Autopsies later performed. The bitter smell of almonds. The boys were poisoned with so much cyanide that it was just like they could smell the almond smell on them. And what's even more heartbreaking is Susie's hands had gunshot residue on them. Susie is the one who killed her kids and detonated the bomb. It was under her seat.
Imagine, Tom, you've lost your mom, your sister, your in-laws, and your kids.
Yep.
All in less than a year. And Rob.
I don't know how you recover from that at all.
Rob lost his mom, dad, grandma, sister, both of his nephews in less than a couple weeks.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane. All told, like 9 people lost their lives because these fucking people went in this crazy love spiral, like paranoia, which is just insane, where she had to have her way so much that she would rather everybody be dead than to...
She's like, burn it down.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It's insane. And then immediately, like, they're trying to get the scene together, and the cops all say that's like, wait, hear another clap, and it's thunder, and the sky opens up, and these huge hail come down, and it's like the worst storm ever. And they all say it was like even God was mad. Like God was real mad about what happened. And I just like heard that, and I was like, oh my God, I have chills. Right? Chills.
Mother Earth was like, nah, fuck you.
Now, to this day, like the only cop that Tom isn't really mad at, this one detective that worked the initial case, like his parents' case, he's the only one, because in the papers, people are blaming Fritz and saying like Susie was like a Patty Hearst kind of character, that she was like blah, blah, blah. And Tom's like went on any news thing to be like, that's not bullshit. How it was at all. Like they both are
equally
culpable.
Responsible. Yeah.
So that detective refused to like close the case, like just because they were dead, was like, no, I'm going to solve this. And he was able to actually trace ballistics or whatever from that crime to a gun that Tom had, or to a gun that Fritz had, and sold back to a gun shop on the way back from the murder.
Jesus
that
Christ.
Gun shop was like, oh no, they were both here.
Yep.
So he knew, Tom was like, as much as Susie hated Dolores, she would have had to have been there when she was murdered. And the police also thought there had to have been 2 assailants. So they got proof and were able to go to a grand jury and convict both Susie and Fritz for those murders.
Because look at her personality type. You think anything fucking went down without it being exactly what she wanted?
Correct.
Like that's what she needed. She needed things to be what she wanted them to be. So I have a really hard time believing that
and
she was
Tom's
powerless in that situation.
She was totally there too for the murder of her own parents, because look at the stab wounds on her mother with as much as she hated her mom.
Did that?
Yeah, yeah,
100%.
So I know that one's soup's rough.
That one's infuriating.
It is
like
infuriating.
it's really, really upsetting.
I will say that honestly, like the Jerry Bledsoe book is really well done. If you're a fan of true crime books, definitely pick it up. It's called Bitter Blood. Also, like I said, the Southern Fried true crime episode is really good. If you want, like, she goes like really, really, really in depth. I know this one was kind of long, and
no, it's good. It's necessary that it was that long, because you needed all of that detail and backstory, and so much happened, and so many people died.
So many vitamins, so many Nazis,
many vitamins.
And there's nothing good is gonna ever come of that. But yeah, here's the moral of the story is, like, don't date people that just capitulate to you and capitulate to your bullshit. Like I've never been able to stand that, and I certainly don't now. When people are like too nice to me, I'm like, no, call me on my bullshit, challenge me, because now how's that going to make me a better person?
And also, it's especially with like Fritz's dad, it's a profound lack of, like, the way that he grew up so profoundly fucked him up. Clearly.
And the book goes into it like so much, and it's like, just because you understand it doesn't mean that you're like,
of course it's not a pass, but it's kind of like, it is one of those things where it's just like, we can't just bring kids into the world and just like fuck them up like this, because it has disastrous consequences.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So there you go.
Okay, good. That was a good one.
Palate cleanse the fuck out of that.
What are you guys watching?
Well, I'm in mine. Same old.
Castle, Call Midwife.
Yeah, but I did listen to a new podcast, which I was just looking up, which was I was trying to find out what the name of it was because I couldn't remember. It's called Your Own Backyard, and it's about the disappearance of Kristen Smart.
Ooh,
it's actually really good. It's Your Own Backyard by Chris Lambert is who narrates it. It's really good.
Chris Lambert from Shadowbox?
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
I was like,
wait, what?
Wait, that's amazing.
Wow. No, a different Chris Lambert. Yeah.
Okay.
One we don't know that I'm assuming.
Got it.
This is not him.
All right, great.
No, it's called Your Own Backyard, and it is interesting.
Nice.
I have done the dive.
Awesome.
Yeah. I also started listening to Detective Trap, which is
know
also
that one.
good. Oh, it's the female detective for Anaheim.
Oh,
it's really good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, those are both good.
I do need new podcasts.
Me too.
I need to do a deep dive on it. That's why I was like so excited. I got to listen to that new one. I'm just like, ooh,
I'll
so
check that one out. That sounds good.
You got a Southern accent, and you're telling me about true crime stuff. I'm like, I'm here for it. Yeah, I like it. So.
Yeah, totally. Are you watching anything new?
Call the Midwife.
Just on that Call the Midwife train?
I'm still on that train, man.
It's so good.
Dude, this season is killing me.
You're on what, season 4?
5 with the deformities.
Oh,
yeah.
That show's amazing.
That's where I'm at.
So good.
So I started Watchmen. It's really good.
Nice.
Really, really good. I just caught up. We watched episode 6 last night, and that's the episode that everybody is losing their fucking minds over.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, because it is so well done. That episode especially is so well done. And while I wish I had rewatched the movie before watching the show just to get like a refresher, you don't need to be well versed in that universe to enjoy the show. So
yeah, because it's a sequel, right?
Yeah, it's like 30 years later.
But
they do. I mean, they do call back to some of the characters in the original Watchmen. So
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's very, very good. And then Anthony and I went to a screening yesterday. We've just been killing it with these screenings.
Yeah.
And we went initially to go see Richard Jewell, which is that new Clint Eastwood movie. But while we were in line, other people were going in for a different one, and Anthony just went and asked, and they were going in to see 1917. And I had heard good things about 1917. And so we were just kind of like, can we go see this one instead? And they said yes. Whew, you guys.
I don't think I know anything about this.
Whoa. So it is a World War I epic. It's Sam Mendes, who did like Road to Perdition and Skyfall and American Beauty.
Sure.
It was so
I want to see it.
Good. I would say this one though, like honestly, go see it in theaters.
Okay.
Because the way it is one of the most beautifully and insanely shot movies I have ever seen.
Whenever I read stuff about World War I, it makes me, I'm like, I cannot even fucking imagine. That is insane.
Your anxiety will be at a fucking 10 because like the way that they, like the trauma, like all I can see is just like the amount of PTSD that came out of that generation for like good reason because they're just like bunkered up and then also the way that it is shot. It's shot to look like one continuous take.
Oh, wow.
Like it goes black in the middle and then they come back. So I guess 2 technically continuous takes, but the whole thing is shot. There are no POVs. There's no like over the shoulder shots, insert shots. It looks like it's one take.
Wow.
Which is insane and would be so fucking hard to shoot.
Imagine the editing.
It would have been, it's got to win awards for editing because it would have been so difficult to edit. But it is so good. Your hot priest from Fleabag is in it for like a scene and he's so funny. Funny in a movie that is not funny.
Oh,
great.
I love hot priest.
So yeah, I would highly recommend that. Comes out, I think, on Christmas. So if you... I know that everybody is into war movies. I'm not typically super, super into war movies, but this one is worth seeing. I think it's going to clean up at award season.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
But you also saw Knives Out. Did you talk about that already?
I don't know if I talked about that. I saw that a couple weeks ago. Knives Out was real cute.
That's totally like your movie.
That one, you're really going to enjoy it.
That's me.
Yeah. Knives Out was very, very entertaining. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, if you've got stuff that we should watch or check out or listen to, you want to write us stories, we're always taking stories, so send them our way. You want to check out merch on Patreon. Dude, I have to buy one of those All My Besties Are Worsties
We
shirts.
got new designs.
So good.
It's so good. We've got new designs. Go to our one-stop shop of a website at myworstdatepodcast.com. We so appreciate you guys listening. We love you.
Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.